On Saturday, President Joe Biden signed a budget bill preventing default from being on the table. It's been in the news the past couple of weeks talking about the possibility of a default on the U.S. budget and what that might mean for how the government does business. Hi, this is Lee Kaiser with clearancejobs.com. Why are we talking about defense budget bills, which are continually making me spit out my words? I don't know how to talk about this stuff. Anywho, it's because I've gotten questions about whether or not all of this stuff is impacting security clearance processing times. Obviously, if you're going through the process, you're applying with a government agency, you might wonder, hey, is the possibility that the U.S. government might default on its budget going to be an issue for my security clearance? I asked the experts because I wasn't entirely sure. Short answer I got was no, have not seen any delays specific to the budget issues. Of course, there could always be niche agencies where we're seeing some delays or seeing something happen. Talking about the security clearance process writ large, we speak in generalities sometimes, but in general, especially for the Defense Counterintelligence and Security Agency, which processes more than 95% of background investigations, they are operating from a working capital fund. They've actually done a really good job of keeping track of the money side of that process. Pretty transparent about that. They release the cost of background investigations because they do provide the investigative services as a service to a number of government agencies. They release those costs, those prices. Again, those agencies kind of know what to expect when it comes to how many background investigations they're doing, what they're processing, and what they're pushing through. And the thought process is that the past, what's been going on in the past couple weeks especially would not have been something that would have stalled most agencies from moving forward. That, again, those are budgeted items, things that agencies are certainly well aware of. And again, DCSA is operating off of a working capital fund to ensure that it always has the funds it needs to continue working its inventory and caseload that it has. So if you're going through that process and you've already started, certainly you should not see a delay in your background investigation. Obviously, we have a government shutdown or other things like that happen. We do sometimes, see some delays around that. But in general, because, processing background investigations is considered an essential function, we see a lot of that work continue moving forward. Even when we're having these other government budget issues. So again, if you're having security clearance processing delays, which again, had at least one question from somebody saying, hey, is this the reason my security clearance is taking so long? Unfortunately, no, you have to blame some other problem than the budget deal. But it is just kicking the can on this issue for, a little bit further, at least into 2025. But government budget issues are certainly an issue when it comes to the workforce, retention, acquisition. So there's bigger picture topics there, but when it comes to the security clearance process itself, no, the government's inability to set or keep budget is not going to keep you from obtaining a security clearance. But for more questions about the security clearance process, we'd love to get those from you. Find us over at clearancejobs.com.